Hello. Hello and welcome back to the third drawing prompt video in this series. No need for a serious intro, it's pretty self-explanatory. Today's drawing prompt was sandcastle. Now, I could have painted a picture of a sandcastle. I could have had some sort of beach scene, watercolored it, but painting a two-dimensional sandcastle just felt really boring to me. It didn't sound interesting, and the only way I could think to make it creative was to use clay. After I saw that prompt and had the idea of actually sculpting a sandcastle, I pretty much couldn't think of any other option to do, so I went out and purchased clay because I didn't have clay. I also purchased one little set of silicone sculpting tools. I have not used clay since high school, and it also wasn't air dry clay, it was like oven baked in a kiln sort of deal. I think it could potentially be super cute to have a little physical sandcastle as opposed to just drawing one. So this feels real squishy and I'm excited to touch it. Feels like clay. Now time to construct a sandcastle. I've never even built a real sandcastle in real life with real sand successfully, so this will be interesting. I don't really know how to start, but we're going to just go for it, I guess. Ooh, it feels actually kind of nice. Like it's softer than I thought it was gonna be. I want to make it a decent size just because I don't think working small will be good for me, but I also don't want it to be huge because what the heck am I gonna do with a huge sandcastle? I don't know. So a good medium size, whatever that means, that's what we're gonna go for. I have water too. I think I need a brush, like a paintbrush. Okay. Found some old paintbrushes that I don't mind getting clay. So it is now the next day, and this is what I have. Do not look too closely at it. It is not the cleanest sculpting work you have ever seen in your life, but I am actually pleasantly surprised. During the initial stages of building, I was very nervous, very unsure of how the heck I was gonna pull this off. It is not the smoothest work, but hey, you know what? We can chalk that up to it being a sandcastle, and sand is not smooth. But it's not yet been a full 24 hours. In a couple hours, it'll be 24 hours, and so I'm gonna give it that full 24 hours. It is still a little soft on the inside. I can feel that it is not completely hardened, but we're gonna give it a little bit more time. But then we're gonna paint it. Obviously, we need to paint it. And seeing this little guy kind of makes me want to make some sort of platform for him to sit on, because while it does fit the prompt, The only thing creative about it is the fact that I sculpted it. Other than that, it is a pretty standard, bland looking sandcastle. So we'll see. That is what I'm working with. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how it's going. Okay, so it's finally time to start painting this sandcastle and actually kind of bringing it to life, because right now it just looks bleh. It looks dead and not good. And as I was painting it, you know, because I left it to dry for several days, I actually came back to paint it weeks later, but I was realizing just how crooked it really is. It is truly crooked and uneven and not pretty, but it's okay. It's a sandcastle. Listen, if I were to make a sandcastle in real life, it would also probably be, like with actual sand, it would also probably be crooked. So we're just gonna say it adds to the charm. But yeah, so I just went in with some Craft Smart paint and did a white base. And then once that was dry, I mixed up a nice yellowy tan sand color and painted that all over. And then I used a slightly darker sand color and added some shading, some texture. I didn't want it to be really smooth because sandcastles, well, at least your average sandcastle isn't smooth. I'm not talking about those like professional, amazing sandcastles. I'm talking about your everyday, average beachgoer sandcastle. So I just played in with the texture, and then I added some windows that I did originally want to like actually carve out of the sandcastle, but I am not that skilled with clay, so I did not do that, so I just painted the windows on. When I was finally decently happy with the painting and it was dry, I wanted to seal it with Mod Podge, and I went with the matte Mod Podge. And oh boy, does this stuff smell like glue. I don't use it very frequently. I haven't used it in a while, so the fumes really were pungent. And so I just did a layer of matte Mod Podge all over the sandcastle to seal the paint in, because otherwise you know this is gonna be chipping off. Also to, in theory, give it a matte finish as well. Well, there he is, my little sandcastle. I'm happy with him. I think he's cute. He's got his issues, but don't we all? I really enjoyed this project. It was fun to sculpt something and to then paint the sculptor. But yeah, here he is in all his glory. Isn't he fabulous? Yeah, that was gonna do it for this one. That was a quick one. I mean, it seems like it was quick. I really spent several weeks on this video, but it was quick to you. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next drawing prompt video. I hope to see you there. Bye!